right, back at you with another Goji box. Now, I've been waiting for this one for a while. The SH Monsterarts Godzilla 1972, baby. Nice. And you already know, if you've watched any of my other reviews, that I gobble up anything Godzilla 1970s, you know. The 74 Mecha Goji suit's my favorite, and I just love the look of all of the 70s Godzillas. Of course, this is from the movie Godzilla vs. Gigan. And it's a really nice box right off the rip. It kind of reminds me of the SHM 2014 box with the rips and the tears and the claw marks basically in the box. And just, I'll show you the box right here. Of course, SH Monsterarts Godzilla 1972 with all of the logos, Bandai. Got some writing here, and we'll flip it around. You have a nice picture of the figure right here. You could see into the box. Of course, there's another claw mark or tear. Godzilla 1972. And then on the back, there's just some really nice pictures of the figure posed in different ways. Of course, you see him here with Gigan. But this, I guess, comes with an accessory with a bloody head, like he appeared in the movie, which looks really awesome. I can't wait to see that. Then, of course, you got a little picture here of Yuji Sakai sculpting one of them. And the box is just really nice. It's actually top notch. On the other side, we have some more claw marks, Godzilla 1972. And yeah, that's where we're at. An impressive box. And of course, you have the window inside so you could see the Goji. And we're going to get them out of there and get into this review. All right, baby. Here he is, straight out of the box. Godzilla 1972, the Gigan Goji suit. Now, this is basically the Soshin Geki Goji suit, which was in the movies from 68 to 72. Destroy All Monsters Attack, Godzilla vs. Hedorah, and Godzilla vs. Gigan. This was the last movie that this particular suit was used in. And straight out the box, it's beautiful. It really, really captures the look of this suit perfectly. I love the facial sculpt of this. It really, really nails it with the brow, the eyes, the mouth, the nose. That's exactly how this suit was in the film. And I'm extremely impressed with it. It just looks great. It looks great from the paint job to the detail to the articulation. Now, this, you know, when I get an SH Monsterarts figure, a lot of the times I'll just review it straight out of the box for you guys. And with the last two that I bought, this one here, the 72, and the 2024 Godzilla X Kong, which I'm doing a review on as well, I really, really messed with them. I bent them, I played with them, I made sure that I could see all of the different things that they could do and how they move before I reviewed it. And I just think he's really, really, they really, really nail it with this. And of course, you get the extra head sculpt with the bloody head sculpt. And I will put that on for you guys later. But, you know, as far as this movie is concerned, basically the story was after Godzilla vs. Hedorah, which was 71, supposedly, you know, they didn't really like the way Toshimitsu Banno made that movie. Tomoyuki Tanaka really didn't like Godzilla vs. Hedorah, and they wanted to go, I guess, back to their roots, back to Ghidorah as a villain, make a child's movie. They brought in Jun Fukuda, who did, Godzilla versus Ibera, which is I love that movie. I got to be honest, Godzilla versus Gigan is not one of my top Godzilla movies. You know what I mean? There's a lot wrong with it. They made Godzilla and Anguirus talk to each other in the movie, which was, a little childish. The plot was kind of goofy. It was kind of Scooby-Doo-ish. Then they had aliens, cockroach-like aliens. But, if you want a better alien Godzilla movie, I recommend Invasion of Astro Monster, which is just a much better movie than Godzilla versus Gigan. But I really do like Gigan, though. I like him as a villain. He's one of the more memorable Godzilla foes from the franchise. The story is kind of meh with the Child's Park and the Godzilla Tower. Of course, it's a tag team match, basically. It's Godzilla and Anguirus versus Gigan and King Ghidorah in that movie. And I don't know, you know what I mean? I don't know if they thought they were swooping in to take care of what Banno did with Godzilla versus Hedorah. Godzilla versus Hedorah is a better movie than Godzilla versus Gigan. Sorry. It just is. No offense to Tomoyuki Tanaka, but, and this suit was in it as well. You know what I mean? This is the 68, 69, 71, 72 suit. So, this is his look in all of those movies. And basically, I preferred the psychedelic look to Godzilla versus Hedorah, which was, perfect for that time, 1971. Everything was psychedelic at that time. So yeah, I just prefer that movie over this one. The monster fights in this movie are okay, but it was also like this was an overused Godzilla suit, probably the most used suit of the Showa era. So by the time that they got around to Godzilla versus Gigan, they used a lot of stock footage. The suit was falling apart. You see one scene where Godzilla's basically pounding out Gigan and chunks of the suit of flying off. And there was just all kinds of rips and tears in the suit, by that point. So, it's needless to say, it's not in my top 10 of Godzilla movies, Godzilla versus Gigan, I did actually really like the Godzilla versus Gigan Rex short movie that was released recently. That's really good. And I hope to see Gigan back in the movie. Would be nice if Gigan was back in, maybe they introduced Gigan to the Monsterverse, but I don't know. We'll see about that. There is an SHM figure of the 72 Gigan that I might have to get just to pose with this guy. But of course, this is one of the more famous poses where he throws his arm up in the air of this figure. So I figured I'd start it off with that. I'm going to tell you, the articulation on this figure is really nice. It's kind of smooth and loose, not to the point where it feels like it's falling apart, but it's loose where you could, especially in the leg area. You see that right there? I feel like this is almost like a combination of like NECA and SH Monsterarts leg articulation, if those two married each other. That's what they tried right here. And I'll tell you what, the leg articulation is very smooth on this guy. You could get him, and you could get him into some cool poses because of it. So yeah, the articulation is great. The head sculpt is great. The jaw articulation is a little loose, if you could see that. It's a little on the loose side, a little slack jawed. It doesn't, you know, not that there's anything wrong with it. You know, you get some mobility, you get some motion from side to side there, but it's not a major point of contention. You know what I mean? So, whatever. I mean, it's just the way. It's not a defect or a flaw. It's just the way the jaw is done. It's got that kind of movement to it. And the rest of the figure feels like that too, especially the legs. It's a free range, free moving figure, basically. It's not stiff at all. And yet it doesn't feel frail either, which is great, you know. But let me show you some of the poses of this guy. Now this is really cool, and you know, one thing the legs allow for on this figure is to really be able to get him into some nice running or stomping poses, you know. And you know, this Godzilla definitely came running at you, so it's super nice to be able to get him in those type of poses. Yeah, I love the articulation on this thing. It's got some nice posability. The head doesn't go too far up. It could look down further than it can look up, you know. And that's fine because this, you know, the 70s Godzilla didn't really look up like that. So, so you got some nice paint on the fingernails and toenails right there. It's like a tan color. You got nice charcoal gray and silver dorsal plates that don't continue to the tip of the tail, but in this case, it's screen accurate. So, and I lucked out. But anyway, and then you have a nice bit of gray on the front of his chest here. His skin is done really well. It's chock full of detail. You can see that here. It looks awesome. On his chest, on his legs. Head sculpt is incredible. Spot on. The eyes are spot on. You have some nice articulation in the tail. Nice posability in the tail. It could do it several different ways. Left, right, up, down. So you get a nice, you know, you get nice bendability there. I really like this figure. Let's try it with the alternate head. Excellent, man. I really like the sculpt of the bloody head. I might like that even a little bit better. That looks really, really nice. The teeth look nice on it. You got the same slack jaw. So like I said, I think that's just the way this jaw is done on this particular figure. And it's fine. You know, you just get movement out of the jaw. Left or right movement out of the jaw. But yeah, like this is a real, and you see how the tail bends very nicely. So this is a cool pose. I try to like replicate this one from the back of the box, you know. And just very, very nice. Let's take an up close look at that head. Okay, there we go. So let's take a closer look. I love the way they did this. That looks so nice, seeing the blood drip down. That's, of course, from Gigon wounding him and hitting him in the head with the hook on his arm. So, you know, we got to see a bloody Godzilla go at it. And that looks great, man. Awesome. Yeah, I think I rather prefer this head on the figure. It looks really, really nice. So yeah, I very much like this figure. I love 70s Godzillas. What can I say? I love the attitude of 70s Godzilla. you know. And then, of course, following this, we would get the Mega Goji suit, and the, you know, Godzilla 73, 74, and 75, which are some of my favorite designs. But this is dope, you know. This is another purchase from SH Monster Arts that I'm completely happy with. I love his look. He's painted correctly. The mold is correct. The sculpt, the teeth are done nicely. The eyes are done nicely. It's hitting on every level. Let's see if we could get a pose with his tail off the ground. So yeah, that could be done as well with a little bit of balance. Posability on this thing is fantastic, man. Look at that. And look how nice you could work that tail too. This is a great SH Monster Arts figure. I think, you know, I think SH Monster Arts is doing a really good job lately. I think people have been a little critical on them, although I've seen very positive reviews on this one anyway, but yeah, he looks awesome. Awesome. Now I want to compare him with other 70s Godzillas that I have. So I'll show you those. I'll show you the progression. All right, so here we have the 72, 3, 4, and 5. And you can see how the look changed subtly in all of them, especially, you know, from 72, which was a different suit. You know what I mean? 72 was still the suit from Destroy All Monsters. You know what I mean? So, but you could tell that they, you know, they got to here and here and here from this guy. They just refined the design, in my opinion. And I really want, my dream would be for SH Monster Arts to make the 74. Come on, guys. We got a Mega Godzilla. Let's make the Mecha Goji, man. I need a SH Monster Arts 74. I gobble that up with the quickness, you know? So, yeah, you know, it's cool to have a bunch of 70s Godzillas. I need to actually, I need to actually get a Godzilla versus Hedorah 71 so that I could have all 5 of them. But, you know, yeah, they look great, man. 70s Godzilla is where it's at for me. So, yeah, this figure is just an absolute win. In my opinion, SH Monster Arts is killing it lately. So, you know, the last 4, I had some complaints with some of the ones I've bought in the past and little gripes here and there. The last 4 I purchased were great. So they're on a roll as far as I'm concerned. And I can't wait for them to release some more figures, hopefully from Godzilla X Kong. But this is just great. So I highly recommend it. If you want this guy, go out, get you some Gigan Goji. And I will be at you once again shortly with another review. Peace out, folks.